Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome back to our channel. Pepper, hey, say hey. Look. Okay, whatever. Anyways, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but honestly, there's been a lot of flying going on and I've been working so much, okay? Like, listen. Okay, don't start talking. He's been quiet all morning. The minute I press this button to record, he starts talking. Anyways, I've been flying so much. You know how normally I tell you guys that I get like 2 or 3 days where I'm on reserve, but I didn't get called? Yeah. December, I have been called every single day, the first day of my bucket, and I have been used for every single day. And there has been a delay of some sort for every single trip that I've taken this month thus far. So it's been crazy. It's one thing that I just want to say, like, as a disclaimer, like, I have all these intentions of recording and posting and yada, yada, yada. Being on reserve and factoring in being on call and actually getting called, then having to prepare for a 3, 4 day, 5 day trip, on top of delays, on top of my own self-care and just getting back to myself for a second. And then I have my fur baby. So it's just so many factors involved, and not having a set schedule really just makes everything like very unorganized, if you will. But you guys just bear with me. Like, this is reserve life, so I'm just giving y'all the tea, like the real breakdown of how it is to be flying during the holidays. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and subscribe, okay? I don't know what you're waiting on. Subscribe, like the video, because over here, we're not all glitz and glam talking about, oh my God, it's so great doing all this flying. No, we're talking about what's really going down, you know, the highs and the lows of this job. So subscribe for the real tea and like this video. But let's get started. So I'm gonna actually pull up my schedule so we can just talk about the trips that I've been on, and if anything comes to mind, I will definitely share it with you all. But I have been doing so much flying, like you wouldn't even believe. Okay, so just to give you guys a breakdown, I'm gonna talk about my schedule of how it's been this month thus far. And like I was telling you guys earlier, I have been called the first day of my bucket, every bucket that I have, which is basically every starting of my reserve day, I've been called. So I haven't had any free off days. They typically have called me between 9 and 11 in the morning. So they're calling me early. And they're using me for all days. Honestly, being called during December that's expected, because you have to just think about all the factors. This is a time when kids are out of school. This is the longest time period that kids will be out of school besides the summer. You know, parents are out of school, not out of school, but out of work. People are on holiday and they're going to see other family members. They're going to go do events, do things with their family. So this is just a time to travel. And then also, you know, there is the Omarion Megatron variant out, okay? That's been a big thing, and we're going to talk about that later on in this video. And there are a lot of people who have been sick. There are people who are traveling that are going to funerals. So even though this is a very merry time of the year, this is also a very sad and depressing time for some people, because family members, friends are passing away. And that's like a reason why people are traveling too. So it may not always be something that's like on the brightest side, but a lot of people are traveling for sure during this month. So just getting straight into it, I had on December 10th, I had a 3-day bucket. They called me, I want to say around 2 p.m. and I had to report at 7. We went to South Bend. I believe South Bend is in Indiana, and that was a really nice hotel. Okay, I'm not gonna say really nice. It was nice enough. I'm only gonna post either really good hotels or really bad hotels. Like, I feel like if it's in the middle, if it's regular, like, there's no real point in posting it. If you guys want me to show you what the regular rooms look like or every single room, I don't mind, but I feel like either show y'all the good or the bad. Like, we can spare the middle. So I will go ahead and insert a clip of the South Bend Hotel here. Okay, here is my room. Really cute. Super cute. Not really much of nothing. It's okay. So I recorded the ceiling of the hotel room, which is giving very much hotel break room vibes. But if you made it this far in the video, drop a green heart in the comments, okay? Okay, so that hotel room was, I feel like it was super cute, really cozy. I liked it. I can't say anything about South Bend. I didn't explore, but it was also really, really cold. And that's another thing. In Texas, it's 75 degrees down here, and then I'm flying all the way to a place that's 20 degrees, 15 degrees. There's snowflakes dropping. Like, that's a big jump to go all the way there and then come back to 75-degree weather. It's just a lot on the body. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I actually lost my voice for a couple days, and it's just not coming back. So that's like another reason why I couldn't post, because your girl couldn't say nothing to even make a video. So yeah, and I do think that from traveling to cold to hot weather back and forth so much really did affect my body. But back to this 3-day trip. So we went to South Bend, spent the night there. Then we had 2 legs, ended in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And then the last day was to Phoenix, and then a deadhead back to Dallas. So it's all, I love 3 days, and I especially love a 3-day with a deadhead, because a deadhead is basically getting paid to sit on the plane as a passenger, and you don't have to do your job. So I have no problems working a deadhead. And a 3-day, like, this trip was actually a good one. I don't have any complaints. And I was working with 2 male flight attendants, not at the same time, but like one was for 1 day and then I had another one the other 2 days. So I think it's always nice to work with a male flight attendant, because it's just like, you know, I feel like their male flight attendants are kind of to themselves. They just don't talk as much, especially as much as the female flight attendants. So it's just a nice balance. That's something that I personally like, but I don't really care, but I think it's nice to work with males as well. So that was the 3-day bucket that I had, and then I was off. And then, let's see. Then I picked up a trip on the 15th and 16th. That was like to Huntsville, Alabama, and then wait, what was it? Yeah, it was to Huntsville, Alabama, and then we spent the night there and then came back and did 2 legs. So that was a deadhead and then 2 legs. So that was really nice and simple. Can't really complain about that one. Remember when I was telling you guys how my schedule was super trashy because they gave me 2 whole weeks of work with only 2 days off? Well, we're gonna get into that right now. So starting on the 18th, they called me at like 9-10 a.m. okay? And side note, make sure, I mean, typically I'm up before 9 a.m. anyway, but I always set my clock for like 8:58 a.m. so I can turn on my sound, because trust me, you just don't want to miss the crew support call. Like, you don't want to miss it, because first of all, if you miss it and you don't self-notify in 10 minutes, you're fired. So I personally just set an alarm. And then also, another thing that I realized is that some people don't answer the phone. I always answer the phone, because there was a time last month where I was out and about, because it was around 4 o'clock, and I was thinking, okay, I don't think I'm gonna get called. And they ended up calling me around 4:30, and they wanted me to arrive. They wanted me to report to work at 6. Mind you, they called me at 4:30, so I'm like, that's not within 2 hours. They were like, oh, we know it's not within 2 hours, but do you think you can make it? And I was like, no, I need my 2 hours. Even if you may or may not be able to make it, you should always tell them you need your 2 hours, because anything could happen. Traffic, you left your ID, long line in at security, you get randomed, the shuttle's taking a long time. There's so many things that even if you live down the street, take the 2 hours, because you never know what can happen. So I told them, I can't make it in 2 hours. I need the full 2 hours. I can't make it like sooner than that. So they were like, okay, we're gonna move your start time from 6 to 6:30, right? So I was like, okay. Got off the phone. I was actually at the store at the time. So I was like, oh my God, now I have to hurry up, finish shopping, and like just speed up. And it just sucks when you're on call, because I try to gauge my day based on getting called, but then when I don't get called by 1, 2 o'clock, I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm free to do whatever. And then boom, you get a call. So it just really throws me off. But anyways, so I'm at the store, and then crew support calls me back in 5 minutes, y'all. And they said, okay, don't worry about it. We're going to take you off that trip, because we have somebody else that will come in. Okay. They got somebody else who will come in now. And because they got somebody else to come in, that took me off the trip, and then I was free to enjoy the rest of my day, which is why I say you need to answer the phone, because if you didn't answer the phone, they would have just put that trip on you, and now you're obligated. And then you would have to call crew support to let them know, hey, it's not within the 2 hours, but then who knows how long you'll be on crew support on the whole line, because when I say there are high call volumes now, like I had to call crew support for something, which we will talk about later, and I was on hold for an hour, and then a hold again for 45 minutes, and then another time for like an hour and 20 minutes. It was ridiculous, and I was just like, oh my God, this is hell. But that's why I say answer the phone, because not only has that happened that one time, but it happened one more time this month. So I just always answer the phone. Of course, when crew support calls, it's like, such a damper in your mood if you're having like a fun day and then you just have to stop what you're doing. But there is a 10% chance you can get out of that. So answer the phone, y'all. Anyways, back to my schedule. So I got put on a 4-day trip. I had a 6-day bucket. They gave me a 4-day trip, followed by a 2-day trip. So they worked me every single day. I was like, are you for real? So my 4-day trip started on the Saturday on the 18th, ended on the 21st. On Saturday the 18th, I went to Mexico. But it was just a turn, like there and back. So I literally did not step foot off the plane in Mexico. So that kind of sucked. Like, my first out of the country trip for work, obviously. And I didn't even step off the plane. Like, it don't even count. But we went to La Paz, Mexico. And it looked really pretty from the window. It was a full flight, no Wi-Fi. I don't know what it is about when people don't have Wi-Fi, they just act like their world is gonna crumble. I'm like, honey, it's 3 hours. Take a nap, journal, talk to the person next to you, look out the window, reflect. It's only 3 hours. It's not like it's, even if it was 24 hours, I just feel like we shouldn't be so, I don't know, like so addicted to the Wi-Fi and just being in the now. Like, just relax. It's okay. That was like interesting to see how people were just like, oh my God, there's no Wi-Fi. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And I'm like, you're gonna live. Do you want cookies or pretzels? Like, relax. So, went to La Paz, came back, and then we went to good old Colombia. Columbia. This is Columbia, Missouri. And like I told you guys, anytime you see COU on your trip, yeah, get ready for some games. Get ready for delays, cancellations. Like, it's never been a smooth trip out of Colombia to Colombia. It's always something. So this is what I wanted to tell you guys. So I know that I've been telling you guys I'm never gonna do this, but I did it. Okay, I put myself on call first. And I put myself on OBR, which is like out of base reserve. So basically they will, like, say they need people in San Francisco or like reserves in San Francisco, they would fly me out to San Francisco to work and then fly me back home. Now, even though I say I would never put myself on call first, the reason why I did it is because Christmas was the week after this trip. And I was just like, you know what? I'd rather know ahead of time what I'm working so I can prepare, plan, have the clothing, have the mindset. Like, I'd rather just know at this point because I'm not gonna not get called. Like, no, I'm getting called. So I was just like, at this point, let me just find out where I'm going and hopefully I will have like a nice, cool, fun trip, maybe an overnight in California, you know? So I was just like, I'm just gonna put myself on call first. So I did that. We got to Colombia and I believe we got there on time. Like, everything was fine. Let me look at this. Yeah, everything was on time. However, the flight to La Paz, Mexico was delayed because we were waiting on the plane to come. So that's another thing. There's so many reasons for delays, and that can be a separate video, y'all. When I say there's 1,000 reasons on top of the weather, it's 1,000 reasons. But so we get to Colombia. I put myself on call first, and at this point I'm like checking my schedule because I'm just like, am I gonna get called? Am I gonna get called? I wake up, go to sleep in Colombia, wake up in the morning the next day to check my schedule, and there's something that I need to notify. So I notify and I don't see a schedule on my trip. However, I see that our departure time, We were supposed to leave Colombia at, what was it? We were supposed to leave Colombia at 8 a.m. and then it changed to 12 in the afternoon. On top of, we had 4 legs to complete that day. So it was just like, that throws off all of those flights. And it's like, it's typical. That's typical to happen in Colombia. So we were waiting on the plane to come in. It was because of the weather, of course. So it's just always something with Colombia. I will say Colombia has a mall across the street. I've never been. I mean, I've looked at the stores. It seems a little outdated, but it's something to do. I've actually never done anything in Colombia. I just sit in my hotel room, go to the gym, and just like go back to my room. But yeah, always a delay in Colombia, y'all. I'm gonna wrap this up and then we will chop it back up for part 2.